Okay, y'all, I'm out here at the Will Hyatt compound, and we've been spending some time. Will's good enough to, I know you surely recognize him. He's helped me in a bunch of my videos. He invited me up here to his place, and we've been doing some gun reviews. And Will's a combat Marine veteran and a firearms instructor. So suffice to say, you're an authority on the subject of firearms and self-defense, firearms, and that sort of thing. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, you could say I dabble with it.
And Will and I both are fans of the 4570, and so I've got this Ruger Bit Marlin that I reviewed a while back, and this is kind of what I carry with me. And I thought, I'm going to bring it with me, and Will can shoot it, and we'll just have a little fun with it. And he and I got to talking about lever guns and how cool they are, and this, that, and the other. And then the subject come up: are they a viable self-defense rifle? And now my opinion is, yeah, because I carry this with me. A couple of the reasons that I like it is, I can have it with me in an automobile, in a car if I'm going somewhere, and if I get stopped by the police or what have you, and they see a lever gun laying in the back seat, it's probably not going to put them on edge as much as if they saw like an AR and a bandolier of ammo and that sort of thing. I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm just saying that's a fact.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. Everyone mistakes, the AR for what it is and what it's not.
Right, and I'm a huge AR fan. Don't get me wrong.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I love them, and probably the best defensive rifle available. In a lot of people's eyes, but it does have an incorrectly negative stigma attached to it.
It certainly does. Yeah, with my background, like I've carried that platform for many years, and this is something I've grown used to and know the ins and outs of. And that's my personal defense rifle, if you will. I got one in the the coat closet, if you will.
Sure.
For uninvited guests and whatnot. But no, looking at the lever gun though, I see its viability in a modern society now. After shooting it and playing with it and stuff, and
it doesn't draw a lot of attention.
That's one good reason. Another one is, nothing against 5.56 or 2.23, but if I were to find myself in a situation, staring down a 2-story freaking grizzly bear,
right?
Don't get me wrong, I could have a D60 attached to that rifle. That's just going to tickle him.
Sure.
Where that 4570 would come in a hell of a lot handier.
It certainly produces much more horsepower than a 5.56.
Oh yeah.
At some cost with recoil and magazine capacity.
I thought that too, because I got the got that old Cimarron remake of a Sharps rifle, and that thing kind of bucks a little bit. And that was last time I shot a 4570, and I shot this one today, and I was like, this thing's ain't too bad. It's not too bad.
I stuck a can on it. This is Liberty Suppressors Cosmic. I've used this as well as the Phoenix Weaponry makes a 4570 silencer. So I've gone back and forth on cans. I brought this one today. I like the Liberty. It's pretty lightweight. It seems to hold up well. I've enjoyed using their stuff over the years. And one thing that I like about this rifle, or a lever gun, in general, and especially in 4570, I reload. And so I cast and reload a 430 grain subsonic round. Now shooting that out of this is, it sounds like a pellet rifle going off. It's
right.
It's pretty quiet. First round off steel, so you can hear how quiet it is. Second round on steel. However, I don't have to worry about adjusting my gas system, changing my buffer tube. I can go from subsonics to supers, in the same magazine. And because it's mechanically driven, I'm not concerned about reliability as far as different power ammo.
You're absolutely right. In terms of, manual operation, when I used to work at a gun shop, that was one of the big takeaways, a revolver versus a semi-auto handgun. It's like, the Glocks and stuff like that are great if you know how to do corrective actions.
Sure.
Whereas a revolver, well, if it failed to fire, I just pulled the trigger again.
Just
keep pulling the trigger, rotate that cylinder. And the same concepts here with this lever gun, if I wasn't trained on that M4 platform, AR, whatever, and that weapon failed to fire, tapping the side of the receiver isn't really going to fix a problem. Whereas, with this weapon, if it failed to fire, we'll just rack that lever and
keep getting it,
and get a second attempt at it.
Right.
So I definitely see the validity in the use of a lever gun in this day and age. Aside from standing off with a 2-story tall, grizzly bear, even out in an environment, if we're out in the woods and I'm dealing with a threat of some sort, whether it's 2-legged, 4-legged, I almost don't even have to see it fully, and I'll know that round's gonna travel through whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna buck the brush pretty well.
Right. Whereas our 5.56, you hit a twig and that sucker's
left field.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody to think we're bashing the AR, because that's my
no,
go-to
by no
as
means.
well. Love the AR, but unfortunately, there are a number of states in this great country of ours people can't have ARs.
That's true.
Which is bullshit, but it is a fact of life. And so, in the event they're looking for a viable defensive rifle and the AR is not an option, then you could certainly look at and if you run into the 45-70, I mean, they make lever guns in 357 Magnum, shoot 38, 44 Magnum, shoot 44 Special, 45 Colt, 30-30. God, there's probably been more deers killed with a 30-30 than any other cartridge in the world.
Oh, certainly.
So, I like that Ruger's a little bit modern take on this rifle since they, bought Marlin. They had the foreshadowing to put some really nice Skinner sights on it. So it's got good irons. It is threaded for a can, so it gives the rifle a little bit more usability, user-friendly.
Yeah, especially in today's world of modern shooting and
Sure.
stuff, where everything's got a pick rail on it and stuff like that. And no, it's actually kind of nice to see that we're still getting lever guns out there.
That are functional. We could agree that while maybe not perfect, it certainly would serve well as a self-defense rifle today. I mean, it's not dated. It's not unserviceable. A lot of people also have the debate about, are revolvers in this day and age still a viable choice for a sidearm, which I believe they are. And could we say the lever gun is still a viable choice for, a defensive rifle?
Oh, agreed. Hell, my preferred carry gun is a Glock 19.
Right.
But you know what? I've carried I call it my dinner pistol, more than the Glock 19. It's a little Smith & Wesson 642. Airweight.
Right. And that's the thing about this 4570 I'll touch on too is you've got some options for defensive loads.
Oh, yeah.
Double tap makes a 300 grain hollow point, all copper hollow point, that would serve good medicine against 2- and 4-legged critters. Mm-hmm. So you've got a 4570 round that would do well against a 2-legged varmint that was accosting you. And then you can go to the 405 grain if you're hunting critters or dangerous game or whatever. But even within the realm of the 4570, there's a myriad of different types of ammunition that you could choose for your application.
Probably the original barrier blind round created too, when you think about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That 405 grain, it'll certainly make its way through some pine boards. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Turning cover into concealment. but anyway, so here again, I want to reiterate, I'm an AR man, love the AR, but variety is the spice of life. Mm-hmm. And so I enjoy carrying this lever gun, and some people think that why waste your time, but I think it's worth pointing out that there's some validity to it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right, well look, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate your insight and your time. You're always a wealth of wisdom, a fountain of good information, and I always enjoy our time together.
I try.
All right, brother. Be cool, man.
Me too.